Guys, welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, my name's Pete. Today I'm going to show you a super cool technique how to measure a chamber. Now, you know, every now and again you see something and go like, why didn't I think of that? It makes so much sense. That is exactly what happened to me when I saw this on Matt Hornback's Instagram. So this video is literally brought to you by MDT. Matt works for MDT. By the way, these new freaking shirts are absolutely fire. Now, MDT sent a couple of shirts over. They sent one duplicate, which is this one. So if you're a medium, okay, like I am, the next person to buy an MDT product off my website after this video airs, you will get this shirt. Just sort of a vintage MDT shirt. Super, super cool. I wore mine last night, actually, the black version of that. Anyway, okay, so on Matt's Instagram, he showed me a technique, or showed all of us a technique for that matter, how to measure a chamber. Now, generally, I would have a modified case on this OAL gauge from Hornady, you know, do the whole thing, vernier, the works, and then, or digital calipers, as some people call it, and then you have sort of a spec. Now, for us to do that, we need to clean this puppy out first. I've taken the muzzle brake off, by the way. Let me show you something. This is the muzzle brake that will be going back on a high bling version of the Monster. These will be available too, special order. We spent a couple of hours polishing these guys up, and they are absolutely, let me see if I can reflect it good for you, but they look super cool. Obviously I've touched it now and it's pretty cold, so it's making all marks and stuff, but looks pretty cool. That's actually going to go on one of the bat rifles with a stainless barrel, and I think it's going to look absolutely killer. Okay, so while you guys watch the intro, I'm going to pop this over into my new modular sort of vise system that we've got on the side here, which basically allows me, let me actually show you guys how freaking cool this is. Let me move this out the way so you can just have a better vantage point. So pretty much I have multiple reloading desks. Okay, so I've got this one that we sort of film stuff on for you guys, and then I've got one sort of slightly off the side of the camera. Now on that one is generally where I do most of my reloading. So I've screwed this guy in a little bit too tight. Okay, that's all. There we go. Pop that bolt out over there, and then just do the same over on here. Now generally I use sort of my vise to clean oh, I don't need to pop that out. Now, oops, shell holders. I can literally just pull my press out like this. It's on a little QD plate. I'm gonna pop that guy down there without smashing my table. Grab my vise, click it in like so. Boom, just index that guy in, and then we are good to go. Now I sort of mounted the vise a little bit too much to the side to get this other QD screw in, but that was 100% operator error. Now, these little mounts that you see down here, impact shooting on the side, they are also available on my website. So I'm gonna link that down below. Let's remove that. Visually just inspect. Okay, everything is clear because I've already pulled the bolt. Boom. Okay, so enjoy the intro. I'm gonna make sure that guy's clean. We're gonna come back here and I'm gonna show you guys the technique that I saw on Matt's Instagram. By the way, give him a follow and thank him for that technique. And while you're at it, give me a follow too.
Yes, sir.
Okay, right, that barrel is clean. I also installed the Monster brake. Okay, let's pop this guy down. So first of all, we're gonna do the modified case method. Oops, I should probably tighten that up. And I usually like to start them a little ways off. I find that if you're all the way back, you could possibly get hung up. I mean, I'm pushing pretty hard there. You could get hung up on the inside of the neck. So let's back this out a little bit and get this guy sort of in a nice position where it can free float really nicely and smoothly. So we're gonna have it round about there. Make sure we're lined up here with this little index point. Okay, that's too far back. That's sort of where we wanna be. I'm gonna lock that off for now. Make sure we're screwed in all the way to the back. This is the first time by the way, I've measured this chamber. In the past, what I did was I kind of went off the first 200, off what the gunsmith said. Listen, load them cartridge overall length, you know, that long. I'm gonna make sure that's backed out, push forward very gently. And we're hitting the lands, tighten that guy back up. Now a little tip, which works 80% of the time, every time, is to wiggle that guy as you pull it back out, and that round should come out complete. Otherwise you have to push in a rod from the front or shake it quite violently. Okay, so that's going to give us our measurement. I'm going to pop in my calipers and just grab that actual measurement for us. Now you say, Pete, I thought you were going to show me a really cool new way. Yes, I am. Okay. The reason I'm doing this way first is I want sort of a benchmark to see how accurate this new way is. I'm going to zero out my caliper, make sure you've got the correct insert. Wow, this thing is super long. Okay, make sure we're all squared up, and that's actually a really nice number to remember. Boom. This is, by the way, this caliber is a 7-300 Win Mag. That's basically 300 Win Mag neck down to a 7mm. Running 195 grain Berger Extreme Outer Limit Hunter at about 3,000 feet per second. Okay, so it's 3.0065. So let's call it 3.006. Okay, now 3.006. I should probably write that down. 3.0065. That's what we had, because we will forget just now, because while I wait for this method, I'm going to go do something else. Okay, so what you're going to do, you're going to take a fired case. It's very important that it's a fired case, okay, because otherwise a new case, you won't be able to do this because of neck tension. So this fired case has been cleaned. I've done a little tiny chamfer on the inside of the neck, and I've run it through a brush. It's also been annealed, but that's neither here nor there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a little bit of blue Loctite. Now again, this was not my idea. Matt, thanks for sharing this with us. Super cool. Let's see if it works. Okay, so a little bit of blue Loctite inside the neck. Now I think here you want to be pretty gentle, because the last thing you want to do is have Loctite spilling out and sort of ending up in your barrel. That's not going to be good. So I'm going to be gentle with the Loctite. Let's go. Okay, cool. Boom, boom, boom. By the way, I'm sacrificing this case because I'm guessing this case is going to be a goner after this. Okay, I'm going to seat this guy out longer than it would be. Okay, because now what I want to have happen is, as I push this in, is I want the friction of the lands pushing on the front to push that bullet in a little bit deeper, and then we're going to leave it in the chamber. Now I'm going to use this little stick to push it all the way forward. Actually, that can't come out there, which is funny. Okay, so we'll use this side. Okay, and then I'm just going to use my finger to guide it over the open mag wall, making sure that that is still longer than it needs to be. Okay, we're going to make sure we go all the way to the back. Okay, so I've pushed it all the way to the front. The case can't go any further. Now we're going to let that dry and then come back in a few minutes, and with the magic of YouTube, it's been about a half an hour since we put this case inside the chamber. Now I've left it a little bit longer than Matt did in his video. And the reason for that is I would rather give it a little bit more time to harden up than to, rush it and potentially influence the result. Now, okay, so remember our measurement was 3 inches 000, so 3 inches and 6.5 thousandths basically, okay? And that was measured to the ogive, okay? In other words, the bullet will start engaging the rifling. Okay, so what we're going to do now is actually get this out. Now, Matt didn't actually show how he did that in his video, but what I'm going to do, I'm pretty much just going to put the bolt in, cam it over, and hopefully the extractor jumps on and we should be able to extract the case. I didn't want to push something down the front of the barrel. One, I never like pushing anything down the front of a barrel. Okay, even if you're super careful, I just don't like that. And I also thought that pushing on the front of that, of the actual bullet, would not probably be the best case scenario for us. Okay, so without further ado, let's do that carefully, and it seems to have worked. Woo! I don't know why I'm surprised. I knew it was gonna work. Okay, so actually we don't need that anymore. Now we could just do this measurement. Let's just make sure we're all zeroed up. Okay, so 30065 was what we had the first time, still zeroed up. Okay, moment of truth. Now, I hope this works, or is reasonably close. Let's make sure we're 100%. I'm gonna come to you. Let me just try pull focus on this for us here. Okay, so as you can see, that's pretty freaking cool. Dude, legendary. Really cool, inexpensive way to, instead of going to buy this, to make a dummy round. I'm probably gonna just do that going forward. Yeah, because I had to take this case to an actual gunsmith to have them drill and tap the back of it, and this way clearly works. I guess this advantage you'll have here is as you sort of wear through your barrel life and as your throat starts eroding, you will have to sacrifice a case this way every time. I will, okay, that's kind of, it moved a little, there we go. Okay, so this can be undone, but we got the measurement we needed, which is pretty much all we cared about. So I'm sure if I run this through a tumbler, we'll get rid of any Loctite that's in there, and I'm just going to wipe this down with an alcohol wipe, and we should be good to go. I should be able to reuse these components. So I was just going to make the argument that this could be better for longevity, but if you're able to get this out, I'm pretty sure with the kinetic hammer you would also be able to get that out. Super cool. So I hope this technique helped you guys. When I saw it, I mean, as my Uncle Ben used to say, with great power comes great responsibility. So as soon as I saw it and I knew you guys would be super interested, I knew I had to share this. So Matt, I hope you don't mind me sharing this. Guys, thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed, you can do that down here. You can check out some of our other videos up here. And if you want to check out more reloading stuff, I recently did a whole course on reloading with 4 cameras, crazy detail, and that course is almost complete. And that's going to be available down here. And I'll see you guys in the next video.